how do you think the results may differ from the early picture?
Yes, they're going to differ quite a bit, a fair amount, because Republicans were absolutely certain. I can say that because I've talked with the leadership right before today, Election Day. They were absolutely convinced that they would win 35, 40 additional seats in the House of Representatives. The reason I talked to them, they were calling to criticize me for only projecting half of what they thought they were going to get. It turns out my half is going to be too high. They're going to win the House of Representatives, but it isn't going to be by many seats. And as a result, it's going to be much more difficult to govern the House for the Republicans. It'll be much more difficult for them to oppose President Biden, certainly to try to impeach him, which they keep talking about. And more to the point, the leadership in the House is going to have to bend down to the most right-wing elements of the party because they don't have a lot of spare seats. This is really unexpected. They didn't expect it. The pollsters didn't expect it. I know you're shocked that the polls were wrong again, 2016, 2018, 2020, 2022. It's kind of a pattern now. I think as a whole, we're going to have to reevaluate everything we thought was coming.
Larry, just to backfill for our international audience, I'm sure the domestic audience is well aware of your crystal ball blog projections, which have some notoriety, I think, for their accuracy. You pretty much got this one on the nail. What was it you think you were seeing about the reaction on policy issues that other pollsters weren't?
I found that my friends in the polling industry were minimizing the effect of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. That is really what energized the Democratic Party and the Democratic base. If the Supreme Court, of course, controlled by Republicans 6-3, if the Supreme Court had not overturned abortion rights with their Dobbs decision, then I suspect Republicans would have done about as well as they expected to do. But they minimized the importance of this, reinforced by the polls that suggested inflation was so much more important than abortion rights, which it is in some ways, but not necessarily in motivating people to go to the polls. So that's the fundamental. And for Democrats, it's odd to think about something that they regard as a terrible twist in American history, overturning a 50-year precedent in the Supreme Court about abortion rights. That has actually turned into the reason why they have done reasonably well in this midterm election.